Ooh, my hair looks like a windswept mess tonight. I literally took a shower, let it dry like this, and voila. Anyway, I just wanted to do a video to talk to you all a little bit tonight, to check in and to also chat about my third therapy session, which I had on Friday. Before I get into that, though, I want to share some good news. I am literally 14 subscribers away from hitting 3,000 subscribers. So if you've not subscribed to my channel yet, please click the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. I appreciate any support. Click the like button, leave some thoughts in the comment section below. I enjoy the interaction with all of you. So my third therapy session, it was probably the most difficult one that I've had so far because it really started delving deep into some of the traumatic experiences that I've had and some of my unfortunate habits that are connected to my mental health. We talked at length about the traumatic experiences I went through with my grandma, kind of building off from that last video that I made. But additionally, we also talked about like my creative stints where I will go through this creative stagnancy and then I get like hyper creative where I feel like this euphoria and I just need to produce because I'm afraid of losing it. And being afraid of loss seems to be like the theme of this session, because one of the big aspects of our conversation had to do with one of my favorite phrases, apparently, and that phrase is, "I'm sorry." So over the course of these sessions, like both my therapist and I came to the realization that I literally apologize for everything. I apologize for stumbling. I apologize for making mistakes, even no matter how small they might be. I apologize for losing games. I apologize for breathing. I apologize for existing. And the reason why that is because, and we came to this conclusion throughout high school, throughout my teenage years, when I had my grandma and my bullies bullying me continuously, basically telling me that I was a waste of space, I started internalizing that need to make myself invisible and to avoid public humiliation or anything. I would do whatever I could to minimize myself so I wasn't noticeable. And of course, it never really worked, and it just kind of made me mentally implode on the inside. But it really hit close to home because as I've grown older, this need to reduce myself has spilled into so many different aspects of my life, including like self-deprecating, and it's really challenging, and it becomes very taxing, and I know it becomes annoying for people in my life, and my first instinct, of course, is to apologize for apologizing to those people. Thankfully, like, I am surrounded by people who are incredibly patient and understanding. So I've come to the realization that I don't need to apologize for existing. This comes back to one of the first things my therapist told me in our first session, and I think I mentioned this in a prior video, where she was like, "Donny, you have the right to exist in the spaces you inhabit." And hearing that, it was a very moving thing for me. Additionally, we talked about some of my body image insecurities and how, like, my need to be invisible, my need to reduce myself is in a way connected to my feelings of being too fat, and how I need to just compress myself and make myself as small as possible. I'm planning on talking a little bit about that in a Thursday's episode of Restitching the Tapestry with Ari, so we're going to be talking about body image, so I won't get too much into that now. But suffice it to say, that was a huge topic of conversation for me too. But what I'm really looking forward to, though, is my therapist is starting narrative therapy for me. So basically what I will be doing is I am creating a trauma journal. So I'm taking a journal that I've not really used, and I am turning it into a trauma journal, because it's keeping that separate from all of my other journal stuff. Because, I mean, if I'm going to have really dark stuff in here, I don't want it peppered through all of my other journals. because I like take therapy notes in this, and I just do like regular like day-to-day journaling in here. But what's going to happen with my narrative therapy is she, like my therapist wants me to write a memory in my trauma journal, like a traumatic memory, and then write a poem reflecting on it, and then rewrite the ending of the trauma memory, but have it have like a superhero ending, and then also rewrite the poem to reflect that same thing. So I am writing one journal entry, a poem, another journal entry, a poem, but I'm changing the context a little bit in each of them. And it really struck me, the narrative therapy, because in my own stories that I used to write, like my Godzilla fan fiction, I used to make myself a character, and I would always make myself this larger than life character who was flawed, but always did the right thing and made a difference, and never had to feel as though he needed to reduce himself. And I always viewed myself in the fictional sense more positively than I do in reality. And my therapist wants to use that thought process to kind of condition like those traumatic things that I continue to repeat to myself that were said to me a long time ago. I'm really excited to do it. It sounds like it will be fun, and you know I love to write, so I hope that works out. Anyway, in the comment section below, let me know how you're doing. I would very much enjoy reading about how your lives have been going lately. Again, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Click the like button and share my stuff around if you feel that it might be helpful to anybody else. As always, thank you dearly for listening to me and making the time to join me every now and then. Have a good night. Bye.